I started thinking about discipline the other day, and especially discipline within our schools, when I saw an article from Westphalia ISD where they talked about the downsides of corporal punishment. Now, I guess to be totally frank at this point, is that when I was a principal, I did use corporal punishment. I found it was beneficial mainly because it allowed for the punishment to take place and the kid could get back in the classroom where they needed to be. And so when I looked at that and I began to think about things, is that a discipline management plan has to be supportive of the teachers, supportive of a good learning environment, and promote safety overall on the campus. In addition, you need to make sure that there is a stepping stone process for consequences to increase if the student does not improve their behavior. And you also want to, which is something we don't always do, is support student emotional social growth. And I hear many people who are principals of AEPs or who are principals of schools in general who say that many of their plans do not promote that emotional growth, and that's a problem they have, because if you do not get that in place, then you have the same kids coming in over and over again. And so a lot of times if we don't use corporal punishment, and to be honest with you, as I probably would not use it today if I was doing it, is that we use ISS or some version of that, where we take students, we remove them from the classroom, and we put them in little these little areas right here where they've got to work and do their work, and they're away from everybody else. I'm not sure that's a good thing. And the reason is several-fold. One of the things that we know is that if a kid gets in trouble in a classroom, they may go to every other classroom and are perfect, but they struggle with that one teacher, or that one teacher struggles with classroom management, and therefore the lack of structure in that classroom increases the likelihood that that kid's going to act out. And oftentimes when you go in here, you talk about it being quick, being an issue. This oftentimes you're in ISS for 1 to 3 days, sometimes longer. And I've gone around and talked to kids during that process and said, why are you in here? And many times they say, I don't know. And I actually believe them, because the consequences are so far removed from the actual behavior that we're trying to make better. And so ultimately, I think that if I were going to put together a discipline management plan now, I would do things a little bit different. Number one is, I would probably, if I had an individual acting up in a teacher's classroom, I would remove them from that classroom immediately, because I want to support that teacher. And then I would spend some time just during that time, but I would try to get them back into the classroom soon thereafter. And then I want to go through and spend a little bit more time in that teacher's classroom as they begin to go through there, because I want to see, what is that student doing? And I want to see, is there some issues and some areas in which I need to support that teacher in helping create a structure that is going to be beneficial for all the students there. Because I think ultimately, if we go through this process, we can get most of our students to behave the way we want them to behave. And we can do it without keeping them from being a part of what we think is very valuable, which is the overall and regular classroom environment. And finally, I want to say that we thank you guys. If you like this Weekly 5, take the time to send it to other people, and also let me know. And if there's anything we can do for you, we have a number of programs in place, but I will tell you, everybody here is very willing to work with schools in any way they possibly can. Let us know. We want to be a part of your goals at improving student achievement.